e semeia a emoção que chora dentro do meu coração.
Isso é lindo acontecer em Parati, uma cidade pequena, e receber assim, dessa maneira tão nobre, a palavra do mundo, os sons, as cores da palavra.
Qual o seu livro de cabeceira?
No momento, o Cheiro do Ralo.
Cheiro do Ralo.
Lourenço Mutarelli.
Mutarelli, sim.
Essa pergunta é fácil. É o Grande Sertão Veredas, do Guimarães Rosa. Eu acho que é um livro maravilhoso.
Eu gosto muito de ler jornais.
Eu amo muito a da Adélia Prado, Poesias Reunidas, que são maravilhosas.
Sinceramente, quando eu chego na cabeceira, eu já durmo.
Estou lendo particularmente o livro da Lillian Ross.
What are you doing? You putting makeup on me?
Microphone here?
Oh, I thought you wanted to do makeup. You're nervous?
Little bit.
Why? Well, you just ask me whatever you like.
Whatever?
Yeah, so long as you don't ask me how old I am.
No.
No, I don't want to say my age.
In front of the mother of new journalism.
No, don't say new journalism.
You don't like this term? No, I've heard about this.
New journalism is an artificial term.
Yeah.
It's a marketing term meant to sell books. There's no such thing as new journalism. In the 19th century, even the 17th and 16th centuries, there have been good writers who have written nonfiction reports. So new journalism was concocted to impress the public that there was something new and exciting going on. But it's a marketing term. There's good writing and bad writing, and that's the beginning and the end of it.
Do you still write in New York, really?
Oh, yes.
And do you like so much?
Definitely, because that's what I am and that's what I love to do. And if you love doing something, you don't want to stop.
You never use it tape recorder. And
No.
it's so impressive for me, for
No.
example. How you reproduce it?
Well,
Perfect dialogues.
yeah. There were people who called me the girl with the tape recorder mind. And
Inside you.
To me, that's ridiculous because reality, the way people talk to each other, if it's recorded in that way, it's reality. And there's a great difference between reality and truth. That's been said over the years about many art forms. So it was up to me to to use the dialogue and to make it accurate, to listen carefully. You listen, you hear the cadence, you hear the rhythm, you hear the words, and you realize as you're working how that fits into the story you're trying to tell. So it's up to you to write it, and that's what a good fiction writer does, writes the story in a way to make it absolutely believable and truthful.
It's so amazing also how you hide yourself on text. And
well, that was very deliberate because in order to make something believable, and also one very nice thing that's been said about me is that I make people feel they are right there, and I'm not interfering. The writer isn't interfering.
Sometimes I forget you.
Well,
really.
that's very deliberate, and that's a wonderful thing to hear, so thanks very much for saying it.
You never gave your opinion, really.
Well, you do.
Yeah.
Oh, because it's implicit. See, if you write about a character and show that the character has humor. You don't say, he is funny. You show it in what you choose to use in the way of the dialogue and the action and his relations with other people and so on. So in that way, you're showing your opinions. Of course I have opinions.
Yeah.
You ask my son, I'm giving him a lot of opinions all the time. So I have opinions.
Thank you very much, Lillian.
Well, thank you. It's wonderful. I've never saw anything like it. We just had dinner, but we just passed by all those food stalls, and I wanted to eat everything I saw.
Qual o seu livro de cabeceira?
Olha, para falar a verdade, eu não tenho um livro de cabeceira, eu tenho livros de cabeceira.
Depende do momento, mas geralmente eu leio sempre poesia. Estou sempre colocando aqueles poetas da minha predileção que eu leio antes, né? Drummond, Eliot, muito Fernando Pessoa, Bandeira, que eu adoro.
Eu estou lendo o livro do Jonathan Safran, o segundo livro dele, Incrivelmente Esperto, Incrivelmente Alto, alguma coisa assim.
E aí, legal?
Muito legal, estou no meio ainda, mas estou gostando muito.
Jonathan Foer. This is the book. This is the guy. You're quite young, right? How old are you? 24?
No, God, I guess I look young. I'm 29.
29. Okay,
Yeah.
anyway, it's too young. Both of your books, they deal with memories. Why is that?
Memory is what everybody lives with every single day.
In this book, extremely loud and incredibly close, the main character is Oscar. Do you have any relation with the Oscar by Günter Grass?
Well, I love that book, The Tin Drum. It's one of my favorite books.
And something like...
Well, to be honest, I didn't think about it until... I didn't even give the character a name until I was very far into the book. And originally I wrote O-S-C-A-R. And I looked at it at the page, and a lot of the decisions I make just because I like the way it looks.
Your starting point in this book is September 11th. And 5 years ago, what would you say now, you know, the impact?
What's the impact now?
Yeah.
It's very, very hard to say. You know, on a day-to-day basis, I think it's almost nothing.
Right.
I don't think New York is a different place. Immediately after, it was a very different place because people were so afraid. Also, the psychology was changed. And now New York is just back to, everybody says, screw you, everybody just makes money, and that's what it is.
Your first book became a film.
Yeah.
Did you identify yourself in that film? Did you like it?
Well, there's a character who plays, I'm in my first book, a character with my name, and there's a character in the film who plays me.
Yeah.
Who,
must be quite strange to see.
Very, very strange. I don't know, did you get a chance to see the film?
No, I didn't.
If you saw the film and now you've met me, you would say,
no.
Not very similar. But that's okay.
Do you have any artists in the special that influences your work?
Many. There's an artist, Joseph Cornell.
Right.
He was an American sculptor. There's a painter, Philip Guston, who I like very much. There's a Japanese photographer, Hiroshi Sugimoto. I love looking at visual arts, probably even more than I like reading.
Your brother wrote a book about football, right? What's your relation with the sport? I've heard you supported us in the last World Cup.
Yeah,
is that
of course.
true?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah.
I have a lot of family here.
Right.
So when I grew up, they would always try to teach us about who the big players were at the time.
And your family moved here? They are Americans? No,
they're Americans. My family came from Europe. And so about half of the family went to Brazil and half went to America.
Right. Are you working on a new stuff right now?
Trying to, but it's coming very slowly.
Can you say something?
I wish I could, but I can't. You know? I just don't know.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Está está lendo o que no momento?
Eu leio várias coisas. O que eu gosto muito mesmo de ler é a história do Brasil.
Estou lendo Menalton Braff, A Sombra de um Cipreste, pela segunda vez já.
O Homem Duplicado, do José Saramago.
Comprei aquele livro do Ali, que é o ator daqui do momento aqui da nossa...
Tariq Ali.
Tariq Ali.
You don't believe in God?
No.
Right? But you've been writing about religion. Why is that?
Well, because the main reason for that is what happened on 9/11, when religious groups carried out an act of terror against the United States, and there was one view coming from the United States, and I made a reply to that to try and explain why these things were happening in the world today, and why they were wrong, but also to explain the mistakes the United States had been making in its foreign policy for a long, long time. So that's why I write about religion. The last novel, A Sultan in Palermo, is a very strange novel because it's set in Sicily in the 12th century. And the Islam itself had been defeated. They were no longer the ruling power there. But Arab culture, Arab customs, Arab traditions, Arab learning was still very strong and carried on for another 200 years. And I was exploring this aspect of it, how a culture can outlast the power of people. All the novels I've written about the collapse of Islam in Spain, the Crusades, the Ottoman Empire, and now Sultan in Palermo, explore various questions, including tolerance, and how these communities could live together for a long time.
You write non-fiction and fiction. In your creative process, how do you deal with that?
I mean, totally different.
Yeah, but it's the same person, isn't it?
It's the same person. It's
Right.
exactly the same person. But when you write fiction, you have no idea when you sit down and start writing how a book is going to end, how a book is going to carry on. Many, many things come out from inside you which you had never imagined were even there. And that's the exciting thing about writing fiction.
Right.
And also you don't have to worry about anything. Let it go. Whereas with non-fiction, you have to make sure the facts are right, you have to be analytical, you have to be cold, you have to avoid sentimentality, etc.
You have to search a lot.
And you have to do a lot of research.
Right.
A lot of research. So that's the big difference.
Right. Would you think that the conflicts in the Middle East are, in a short period of time, they are going to be over, or not at all?
Well, I think, we have 3 occupations now.
Right.
Palestine, the occupied territories, Iraq is occupied, and now parts of Lebanon are occupied, as we see every day on our television screens. This is not going to lead to easy solutions. Till these occupations and the problems connected with them are solved, you won't have any peace. So the West can score some victories, but the situation will continue to be unstable. And the reason they fight over the Middle East is because it's the richest region in the world in terms of energy resources and oil.
Definitely.
If there was no oil, no one would be fighting there.
Okay. Thank you very much
Thank
indeed.
you.
Thanks, Tariq.
Você lança aqui em Paraty, na Festa Literária Internacional, o livro Santa Maria do Circo. Mas o livro não é sobre circo, propriamente dito.
Sí, es precisamente un libro de cirqueros que ya no quieren estar en el circo, entonces llegan a un pueblo abandonado, un pueblo pequeño pero que quedó abandonado hace muchos años y deciden quedarse a vivir ahí. Entonces ellos fundan una ciudad, una nueva ciudad que se llama Santa María del Circo y tratan de dejar de ser cirqueros y ser gente común y corriente. Entonces este es el conflicto de la novela. Cómo yo dejo de ser un mago, un trapecista, un enano, una mujer barbuda, un hombre fuerte, para convertirme en el cura del pueblo, en el periodista, en todos esos roles que necesita una sociedad para funcionar.
Você criou uma história que é essa, mas você coloca no livro problemas, conflitos bem reais. Você acha que o realismo acaba vencendo a ficción?
Sí, hay por supuesto una mezcla en todo el libro, hay una mezcla de ficción y de realidad. Nunca sabemos cuál es la raya que divide las dos, entonces me gusta pensar que toda imaginación, que toda palabra, que todo aquello que se le ocurre a alguien es también parte de la realidad. Entonces me gusta ver las novelas como una realidad, y por supuesto en esta realidad que se relata está, por sobre todo creo que en la novela, debe estar essa cosa misteriosa que chamamos condição humana.
No seu outro livro, O Último Leitor, você criou na verdade, o protagonista cria um inferno para os livros ruins. É uma crítica à má literatura?
Sí, este es un bibliotecario que se pone a leer todos los libros que hay en su biblioteca y decide cuáles son los que va a poner en los estantes y cuáles son los que no merecen estar ahí y tirarlos. Entonces, él tiene una forma muy primitiva de ver la literatura, pero a la vez, precisamente por ser primitivo, es muy esencial. Él extrae de la literatura lo básico, lo importante. Entonces, sí, de algún modo, este bibliotecario es esse crítico que tem muito que ver com minha forma de ler.
Você é considerado hoje dos grandes nomes da nova geração da literatura latino-americana. Você acha que é justamente porque você quebrou aquele caminho que todo mundo seguia, de uma certa forma, do Gabriel García Márquez, que era o realismo fantástico?
Quando García Márquez y algunos otros estaban escribiendo realismo mágico, la gran mayoría de los escritores latinoamericanos no lo hacían. Resultó que los pocos que lo hicieron fueron los más populares, pero la gran mayoría jamás escribió nada de realismo mágico. Entonces, no se trata de romper con ellos, de denigrarlos. Yo soy un lector de García Márquez y a mí me encanta García Márquez, pero a la hora de la escritura me gusta más abrevar en los orígenes, en los clásicos, y a partir de los clásicos tratar de darle una vuelta de tuerca a la literatura.
¿De dónde vienen las palabras?
Esa es la pregunta que siempre nos hacemos los escritores, ¿de dónde vienen las palabras? Y nuestro trabajo es precisamente buscarlas. No siempre las encontramos o no siempre encontramos las idóneas, pero el trabajo del escritor es casi como el de un monje que se dedica a la contemplación para poder atrapar estas palabras. Casi todo el trabajo es precisamente seducirlas, traerlas y poderlas eventualmente poner en el papel.
This is a poem I wrote about my dog. Dear doggy, doggy, my lovely doggy, doggy, doggy. I stroke you, I feel you. Your fur is so furry. Doggy, doggy. Thank you.
Benjamin, you've been called a Rasta poet, a dub poet. Is it possible to define your style?
No, not really, but the important thing is that I'm a poet. I don't want to feel forced to do anything. I want the freedom to express myself in however I want to. Poets need freedom, and I want freedom to express myself anyhow possible.
Right. You have a very much political vibe. Which are your main questions?
Well, it's interesting. I mean, yes, I'm called political. I almost think of myself as anti-political.
Is it?
Yeah, I think politics is too important to leave it to politicians.
Right.
You know, we have to be able to take control of our lives and have a say in our lives. I could talk about the big questions of the day, which would be the wars that are happening now in the Middle East and things like this, but the important thing for me is people get involved in politics.
Let sweet thoughts within you grow and let your body celebrate.
In 2003, you declined a condecoration given by the Queen. Why was that? Why you didn't accept? You didn't want to become like a Sir Benjamin or something like that?
Well, do you know what this decoration was? It's called OBE, Order of the British Empire.
Right.
Now, I spent all my life fighting against the British Empire and what's left of it and the legacy of it. And my family are still trying to recover from the British Empire. You know, we were the subjects, we were the slaves, you know, and in my family home in Jamaica, we still have relics from how we were treated during the British Empire. How can I join the club of slavery? How can I join the club of the people that oppressed me? You know?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Do something illegal.
You are a DJ also. So which kind of music do you listen?
Listen, gosh.
Word man with a word mind. No one in front of me and nothing.
Hey, in my record collection, I have everything from Bob Dylan to Bob Marley.
All around in my hometown.
I have Mozart, Rachmaninoff. I have Sex Pistols. I really cannot go into one form of music and say that's my favorite music. I was brought up on reggae.
You're half Jamaican and half British.
Yeah, that's right. So, you know, reggae was the background music of my life.
Esse é o livro Gangsta Rap, lançado aqui no Brasil pela Companhia das Letras. How your poetry is going to be remembered?
Well, you know, I am writing down my poetry also. For me, writing is not just an academic exercise. It's recording the sounds that we all encounter and we all use. When I write, even my novels, sometimes I'm in the room and you can hear me saying the dialogue because I want it to sound real, I want it to sound natural. I want to take poetry kind of off the bookshelf, if you like, you know, and give it back to the people. I leave the judgment of myself to the people, if you like.
What is going on down in Babylon?
Am I I don't know that I have one. I just recently wrote an introduction for, there's an author, Bruno Schulz. He's a Polish author, and he's long dead, but he wrote a book called The Street of Crocodiles. So maybe I'll say that.
Oh, I just finished The House for Mr. Biswas by V.S. Naipaul.
No, tengo muchos libros de cabecera, pero como se tiene que hablar de uno, hablo de la metamorfosis de Kafka.
You give me a book and tell me it's good, I'll read it.
You're quite young, aren't you? 24 years old?
23.
23? Okay, so why have you chosen such a tragic subject to write about?
It's something that happens in an area where I'm from, meaning West Africa. I mean, everybody's heard about Sierra Leone, what was happening there, what was happening in Liberia, and places like Angola. So as it is an issue that pertains to Africa, West Africa, it's something that greatly interested in me, and that's why I decided I wanted to write about it.
Do you think there is hope for those children that have lost the innocence and they start caring again?
I think there is hope. I mean, I think it's dependent on a number of things. One is the situation of the country after conflict. Two is the number of people dedicated to helping those children. One of the things that, for me, when I was writing the book, that I wanted to show is that it's not necessarily just war. Right. That kids in conflict around the world, whether it's war, whether it's through gang violence. I mean, if you look at gang violence in the United States, you look at gang violence here. Right. There are a lot of similarities in the situations, and that's one of the things that I wanted my book to convey.
When I start reading your book, it's quite tough, you know. It's really hard to realize that something like this is happening, you know, in this world. What would you say for people who are new readers, you know, because...
To the book? I mean, I guess it's a tough book to get into for a number of reasons, because of the subject matter, because also, I guess, of the language as well, the way it's written. But, I mean, I guess the only way to do it is to just read, you know. Hopefully, you know, and everybody has their preferences, and everybody likes certain types of writing, and, you know, but, you know, I'm just... If you pick it up and you start and you continue, that's all that matters to me.
I have to say that you cannot stop at all, you know, until the end. Are you working on a new stuff already?
I am working on another book.
What's about? Can you tell us?
I'm very interested in, and we'll see how it plays out, but I'm very interested in HIV/AIDS. I was just in Nigeria. One of the things that you hear all the time on the radio are announcements to be aware, announcements to practice safe sex, announcements to get yourself tested and things like that. And I think that aspect of the HIV/AIDS epidemic, that that aspect of society changing, of it affecting people's sexual habits, of it affecting the way that families are structured. I think that's really remarkable, and that's one of the things I want to capture.
Right. How's your creative process?
My creative process? Well,
yeah.
I guess I'm constantly writing. I usually write everything out by hand.
You half Nigerian and half American?
No, I'm actually fully Nigerian. I just
fully
grew up
Nigerian?
Both of my parents are Nigerian.
All right, I see.
And I was born in the United States. You hear the way I speak, you hear the way I sound, the way I dress.
Yeah.
There's a lot that's very American about me, but I mean the house that I grew up in was a very Nigerian house.
Right.
We would
Traditional way.
Right. And we would always go back to Nigeria every summer to spend time. In fact, I was in Nigeria up until Friday.
Okay.
So yeah, my family is there, my grandparents, my cousins, aunts, uncles, everyone's there. So Nigeria is also very much home.
Right.
And it's just balancing both worlds.
Okay, and the idea is to be settled in the United States forever, or do you intend to, move back to your roots somehow?
I'm only 23 years old,
right.
so you never know. I could meet a beautiful woman in France and live in there. We'll see. I think there's a lot of stuff to see in the world. So right now, I'm not so concerned about where I'm going to settle, just as much as what there is to experience and where I can experience.
Cool. Cheers, mate. Thanks a lot.
De manhã escureço, de dia tardo, à tarde anoiteço, de noite ardo. A oeste a morte contra quem vivo, do sul cativo, o oeste é o meu norte. Outros que contem passo por passo. Eu morro ontem, nasço amanhã, ando onde há espaço. O meu tempo é quando és um senhor tão bonito quanto a cara do meu filho. Ele fazer pedido. Tempo, 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 tempo. Compositor de destinos, tambor de todos os ritmos. Tempo, 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 tempo. Entro num acordo contigo. Tempo, 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 tempo. Por seres tão inventivos e pareceres contínuos. Tempo, 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 tempo. És um dos deuses mais lindos. Tempo, 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 tempo. Peço-te um prazer legítimo e um movimento preciso. Tempo, tempo, tempo. O tempo for propício. Tempo, 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 tempo. De modo que o meu espírito ganhe um brilho definido. Tempo, 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 tempo. E eu espalhe benefícios. Tempo, 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 tempo. E quando eu tiver saído para fora do teu círculo, tempo, 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 não serei interessido. Tempo, 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 tempo. Ainda assim acredito ser possível reunirmos-nos. Tempo, 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 num outro nível divino. Tempo, 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 tempo. Ainda assim acredito ser possível reunirmos. Tempo, 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 num outro nível divino.